Now, we did start off with a fair amount of clouds outside. You can even see at the observation site, it's still picking up on a good bit of that, but we are clearing things up for the moment. Now, we are still sitting at 62 with a southeast wind, so some warming factors in play, but we will have cloud cover move in soon after this. But our starting point for everybody is upper 50s to low 60s. We do have Crescent and Lamoni sitting at 64. We've got Fort Dodge through Ottumwa holding in the mid-upper 50s with Grinnell and Des Moines, Carroll still kind of in our warmer spots, but we're all slowly starting to see the temperature move up. Now, the dew point hasn't moved a whole lot. We've seen a spot or two pick up a degree or two in that, but for our sake, we want this to stay down in the 50s. Unfortunately, with the southeast wind, we're going to see that slowly start climbing, and we will all be getting into the low 60s later on. But it's not a lot of wind, so we're not going to see this huge rush of warmer and more humid air. We do have a calm wind still in a few locations. Our wind itself is not going to really start picking up until we get to our heat situation for Saturday into Sunday. And with the rainfall moving in, there are a few signs of potentially seeing some dense fog for Friday and Saturday morning. But at this moment, any rainfall stays down to the southwest. Is also dissipating while what's moving in takes its time getting over here. But we have a fairly cloudy sky once we get to this afternoon. Then overnight, here comes our rainfall. This shouldn't be an issue for anybody. We're talking light rainfall at best. If we see anything that would pick up in intensity, it'll be down around Council Bluffs to Crescent and Lamoni. That's where we'll have the best buildup for those storms to at least get a little bit of strength, maybe give us some rumbles of thunder. But that would be best case scenario. Now, the cloud cover sticks with us for a good portion of the day, but then on Saturday, as mentioned, some of this could easily be dense fog. It's going to take some time for this to dissipate, but this will take us into the upper 80s and low 90s, and the humidity is really going to start to pick up as the south wind gets some strength. So while we get to 90 on Saturday, it's still somewhat reasonable outside. It's Sunday that the heat index takes off to around 103 to 105 for a good portion of us. And then Monday, kind of towing the line as the dew point will still be fairly elevated. It still wants to take it off up to around 80, which is not exactly realistic. But the one thing we're focused on is this drop off afterwards. So essentially, we're looking at the dew point holding it around like 75 and then taking a huge drop middle of the afternoon right before things really take off on Monday. But for Saturday, mid to upper 90s for how it feels outside. And then on Sunday, we've got triple digits for everybody. That is why we have the weather impact alert for Sunday. Extreme heat. We don't have a heat advisory just yet or an extreme heat warning, but it is a possibility. We will see the heat index between 100 and 105. We all know how to stay safe in the heat, especially when it's a weekend. Just limit your time outside, and by Monday, things are improving. It's a slight improvement by Monday, but it is at least that. By Tuesday and Wednesday, now we're seeing the air dry out a bit more. We'll have a few more clouds rolling around, and that will keep us at least on a limited warming trend. Upper 80s is how we're going to round off the month of July. And then as we start getting into that first weekend of August, now we're looking at the heat sticking around. Not saying that we're going to get to the extreme heat once again, but sitting just above average, which is our usual setup for the end of July and early August. Well, that looks to just verify and continue through that first entire week of August.
Chase, thank you.